Hello and welcome to our Yin class. We're going to begin stretching a little bit in downward facing dog.
So downward facing dog, try and bring alternating walking in the dog out, as this is our first dog, alternating bending those knees, just a little bit different of a pose to counteract all those poses of really coming into our bodies. This one's really opening. You can always take a modification of down dog, extended child's pose, dolphin with your elbows on the ground. Sorry, not dolphin, puppy pose. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here. Inhale deeply, hold, and exhale fully. Maybe out the mouth. One more time, this time maybe sigh out the mouth. Inhale deep, holding it, and sigh it out. With your hands, you're slowly going to walk your hands nice and slow up to the feet. We're not moving fast, just nice and slow until you found your forward fold at the back of your mat or the top, doesn't matter. We're only doing one forward fold today. It's not a flow class, it's a yin class, but we're going to just chill in this forward fold. So, because we're going to be here for a couple minutes, maybe find some bending in your knees, settle into this pose. For myself, I find I need to have a little bit more of a generous bend in my knees, just the first forward fold. See if you can connect your fingertips to the ground, maybe your palms, fists, or blocks. You can take whatever variation here you want for the next minute. For myself, I'm going to hold opposite elbows and just sink into this pose. Many benefits to this pose. Stress release, if you have anxiety, a headache, taking this forward fold. I mean, with a headache, it seems counterintuitive. If you're having a massive headache or a migraine, this might not be the best pose at the moment, but it does release the tension of carrying that heavy head around with us. Your legs might be a little bit shaky here. Just try and hang in there a little bit longer. Take a deep cycle of breath in through the nose deeply, holding at the top, and exhale. Inhale. On your exhale, slowly sink the hips back into a little ball here and slowly coming down into, we're going to eventually come on our blocks, or on our backs, but before we do, if you have a prop, you can use it at this point. I will be using a little cushion for my head, and I will be using a block for my back. You can use just one single pillow here, or two pillows, or absolutely nothing. And that's fine too. If you're choosing to not have any props, or you don't have any props, that's a-okay, because we're really working on opening the hips. If you do have props, we'll be able to open the chest a little bit more. So, coming into Buddha Konasana, a bound angle, so the soles of the feet are together. You can give them a little massage, rock forwards and backwards. You might also want to think about props under your knees if your hips are really tight, and letting them just hang there is going to be too much. If you have props, you can put them there. And then we're slowly going to come so our upper back is on the block, so basically our shoulder blades. And you might need to readjust. And once you feel the block is in a comfortable place, kind of just in between the shoulder blades, we can extend our arms long, feeling the shoulders just melt down a little bit, and find stillness in this posture, however it looks to you. taking a nice deep inhale and exhale together. On your next inhale, start to come up, back to seated, nice and slowly. You're going to extend the right leg nice and long towards the right corner of your mat, and your left sole of the foot is going to come in towards the right inner thigh, like in tree pose. Lift your heels, lift your hips up to ground yourself down firmly. Getting ready for head to knee pose, so you might need to have a bit more of a bend in your knee. Inhale, raise the hands up overhead, nice long back, and on your exhale we're going to fold forward at the hips, keeping a flat back as long as we can, and then place your hands down. Wherever you are is fine. We want to keep that flat back for another little bit before we sink fully into this pose. So keep that long back. And wherever you are on your next exhale, you can fold deeper, rounding the back, coming down, or maybe you're already down in flat back, which is great too. Forehead comes towards the knee, it doesn't need to touch. And just take it easy here. Great stretch for the back of the thigh, the hamstrings, the back muscles and the lower back, the right hip. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale fully. And on your next inhale, as slow as you can, start to creep yourself all the way up. Nice long back. Take the left leg and you're going to tuck it behind into a half hero's pose, so the heel comes out just a bit so the left hip can be grounded towards the earth. If your props are in the way, just get rid of them. And we're slowly going to sink back. If you have knee problems, maybe take both legs long, just a bit of a counter pose, coming down onto our backs, feeling the deep stretch in the left thigh. See if you can make the whole left leg, left calf, left shin touching the ground, touching the earth. If it's too hard, you can always put a prop under the left knee. Just sinking here, relaxing. Inhale deeply. On your exhale, release all the air out of the belly. And on your next inhale, even slower, start to come up into seated. This might involve rolling over to your right side, especially if that left leg is tight. Extend both legs. And I'm coming up from fetal position just a little bit easier. Nice and slow. If you feel dizzy, just bring your head down. Left leg is extended, coming to the other side. Bring the right sole of the foot towards the left inner thigh, like tree pose. Lift your hips up, ground yourself into the floor. Inhale, hands come up, and exhale, folding at the hips, flat back, as far as is comfortable to you. And just hang out here. You might need to take that bend in the front knee again, which is fine. Take a few breaths in this fold with the flat back. Inhale deeply. And when you have your next exhale, melt into this pose, head to knee, towards the knee, or nowhere near the knee. It's all good. Take one more breath cycle here. On your next inhale, slowly coming up. This time, we're going to take the right leg and tuck it behind, nice and slow. Again, if you have any knee problems, just keep both legs straight and take an extra little Shavasana. So, half hero's pose, the right knee is bent with the right heel, just to the right of our right heel, right hip, and slowly come down. Take your time. Another option if your knee is really tight is to just have some pillows underneath you, and increasing the angle of your upper body will help relieve some of the tension in your knee as well. And just sink into this pose. Take one more deep inhale, holding at the top, and exhale fully. Again, I discovered the easier way to come out of this is rolling onto your left side and slowly extending both legs out slowly, coming back onto our backs. We're not actually going to go back to seated. Bring your knees close to your body, maybe grabbing onto the knees with the hands, maybe giving yourself a little rock side to side, maybe drawing circles with the knee, any little bit of movement. It might be nice to do a little flutter kick. Actually, this isn't flutter kick, but just extending the leg one leg at a time. I imagine a little bit of synchronized swimming here with our feet. Imagine the water is at your knees. And maybe giving yourself a nice hug for the awesome work you did in today's Yin class. As we get ready for our last pose, Vinyasa, bring your chin up towards your knees, stretching the neck, and exhale, one leg long, the other leg long. Let's reach overhead, full body stretch, as if you're waking up in the morning. Point your toes, fingertips reach to the back, and then slowly draw the hands to your sides, palms facing up. Let your feet externally rotate, your legs, and just sink into our Shavasana. Feeling today's practice, what feels more open, maybe some areas feel a little bit tighter that we need to work on next time, or that we're just stretched quite a bit. Just listen to your body, maybe do one final body scan, or focus on the inhale and exhale, really focusing on that exhale, sinking in, softening, relaxing. Let everything go. Anything you've been attaching to, whether it's
a fight, anything that you need to do or that you're dreading, just release it into the earth below you and let it go. Easier said than done, but just try on each exhale to release as best as you can. Rolling on to your right or left side. Eventually I'll meet you in Sukhasana or whatever seat you wish to take. Or if you want to stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer, that's a-okay too. Hands to your knees. Inhale deeply together. Holding it and exhale. Release one more time. Deep inhale. Exhaling through the nose. Slowly open your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart center. Thank yourself for taking time today to do yoga, to meditate, to deepen our practice. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to chat them or unmute yourself. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Namaste.